Play ball! Blue 22!
You are watching Sports and Sorts live on YouTube. That's 75% sports, 25% sorts. And here are your hosts, Shane and the Bry Man.
Yeah, baby, we are back. It is, wow, that was loud. We are back. It is
Tuesday.
I almost said Monday.
I could
Tuesday
see it coming
morning.
out of you. I could see your mouth forming an M
You're,
instead of a T,
it
and I
is
was like, nope.
Tuesday. So yeah, we are live on a Tuesday, and if you click that notification bell, like we have asked you so many times, like done this little bad boy right here, kaboom. If you do that, you'll be notified when we go live. So you got that going for you. We got that going for us. Not really, because it is what it is. Got to do some sharing here in a second, but we have a lot to talk about today. Things on tap. Aaron Rodgers, where do we think he's going to go? Tebow gets an invite to the Jags camp, and it seems like people are kind of upset about it, and I don't really know why. But we'll talk about that briefly. We got a San Diego Padre versus a Colorado Rocky fan kind of sort of fight. And then we're going to be talking about that. We got some movie stuff to talk about. The PGA Championship and Major is happening this week. So much going on. We're going to be talking about all of it as best we can for as little as time as we can.
For as short as possible.
So we will be doing all that today and very soon. So let's get started with the show. Let's get started with the program. Let's dive in right away to some NFL. You ready for it, baby? You
Sure.
ready? Here it is. That's right, baby. The NFL. We're going to get into Aaron Rodgers. This is something that the Bry Man, he actually sent to me. We'll give our teams, and if we have different teams that we think that he should go to, then we'll put a little Twitter poll up and see what everybody else thinks. But I don't know. For me, I really feel like there's only one place that's like a true fit. So let's.
Me too, actually.
So let's say it at the same time. All right.
This could be a short conversation.
Let's say it at the same time and see if this is where you think he should go.
So is it going to be on 3 or after 3?
1, 2, 3, go.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, Broncos.
Broncos.
Yeah. It is the absolute number one fit. And
Might be the only one.
And that's like, this is like another Hall of Fame quarterback going there.
I shouldn't say that. It's not the only one.
At the end of his prime. But he's still much more. I mean, I can't say, because Peyton Manning didn't have like a horrible career there. How you doing, man? Why? Hello. He didn't have a horrible career there. He had a big year, right? He had one big year there, right?
Yeah, I think he won an MVP. He put up monster numbers.
And then his body just fell apart.
Well, by the time he won the Super Bowl, it was the defense that carried them.
Right.
But
his body fell apart.
But he was a game manager at that point. But again, the team was so good, he didn't have to be great. And his arm was.
And this is where it's a little different for Aaron Rodgers, is that Aaron Rodgers still has another 3 years easy of elite status.
Yeah,
in my opinion, anyway. So
I think so.
I think that Aaron Rodgers going to the Broncos would be a great fit. I think he has some people to throw to. I think he has a decent defense. It's not like prime, like when Peyton was there, but he's good enough to be able to get. And I think if they get someone like him, you'd see some.
Oh, that would elevate that
acquisitions
team
too. I think you'd see some acquisitions because they're not like Green Bay, where they're not going to go out and try and get people. They'll try and get some people and really make sure that they can make a Super Bowl run. Because if you go and get Aaron Rodgers, you're not like just trying to cater to fans, like to bring people to the stadium.
Yeah.
You're trying to win. So I think that the Broncos is the best fit. I think that would be good for just the league in general. I think that the Broncos hadn't had much shine. You know, you have Elway as one of the people over there that's kind of in command. And this would be a big deal. I feel like the Broncos would do very good by themselves, by their fans, by getting somebody like this. Now, I don't know if they'll be able to make this happen, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's a good fit for a number of reasons. I mean, again, if you just look at the quarterback situation there, it's Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater, who I assume neither one of them is guaranteed anything. They're both going to be fighting it out to be the starter there. If you look
I think
behind,
Teddy Bridgewater's getting it. I think he's gonna.
Well, I don't think you bring in a guy like that to. I mean, I would say he's the favorite, but I wouldn't. I guarantee you, from a coaching perspective, they're going to call it an open competition. But if you look at the situation around him too, running back situation is very good. You got Melvin Gordon. You just drafted Javonte Williams. You have Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy from receivers. You have Noah Fant at tight end.
With Noah Fant is underrated, I think. I think he could put up a really good year.
I also, yes. Well, he's the kind of guy that Aaron Rodgers would make, immensely, really improve his game, I'm sure. I think also, to your point, you got to remember there's going to be a lot of cuts coming too. So you're going to have targets, receivers, other tight ends. You're going to have guys available soon who the Broncos could probably jump on. I don't know what their salary cap situation is, but it's kind of a give and take. I mean, they're going to cut some guys. They'll be able to pick up some guys if they can make this trade. I would assume the starting point for this conversation is 3 first-round draft picks. I mean, I don't know how it couldn't be. It's got to be 22, 23, and 24 right off the bat. In addition to the fact that I don't even know that the Packers would want one of those quarterbacks. Probably not, because I would just think they would elevate Jordan Love, unless they would want like Drew Lock to be a backup or something like that. But Jordan Love's going to be their guy. But I will tell you this though. If you look at that Packers roster without Aaron Rodgers, it's suddenly not as impressive. It's just not
suddenly
the threat.
Not impressive? Well, I mean, I think that's we've kind of known that. Like, and that's the reason why.
It's just not the threat that it would be with him. I mean, no offense, no disrespect to Jordan Love, but I mean, you haven't done anything. You were a first round pick a year ago. You're.
It's like if you took Drew Brees out of New Orleans in his prime, like that's
in his prime. I'm not so sure that there'll be a huge drop off for the Saints this year because Drew Brees was at the end of his run last year, and it's like
it's like Peyton with the Broncos. He won, but like he was not. Yeah, he was a shell.
In New Orleans, I think actually Sean Payton might be able to fix Jameis Winston and fix his interception issues, because if he can do that. And just cut his interceptions in half, which, by the way,
it's not all
shouldn't
about
be hard to go.
The interception issues isn't the problem with him. It's the 6 inches between his ears.
Sure,
that's the problem.
Of course. But I think Sean Payton might be the right guy to alleviate some of that. But listen, as far as Aaron Rodgers goes, it's the Broncos or bust, I would think. And if I know he loves Jeopardy. I know that is probably his dream job post-retirement. But I just don't think when you are at the skill level that he is at, that you walk away from this game. I'm not saying it's impossible. He could, because, let's be honest. He doesn't really have a lot to prove. The man's won 3 MVPs. He has won a Super Bowl. I always just thought, though, that he would want to finish in Green Bay, to get a second championship there, to make sure he separated himself from guys like Favre and even from Bart Starr, although Bart Starr won a couple. But I would just, Favre though, more specifically, I really thought he wanted to separate himself from Brett Favre. And now I'm going to say this again. If he leaves, if he forces his way out and he doesn't have another championship there, in my opinion, in Green Bay, Brett Favre is the bigger legend, in my opinion. And he didn't win the MVPs that Rodgers has, but I believe his legacy will be stronger, and he might be a bit more beloved than Rodgers, because the one thing that Brett Favre did have that Aaron Rodgers does not is charisma and personality. Aaron Rodgers is just.
I don't know. His commercials are pretty funny.
Yes, he's marketable. I'm not saying that. He's also a good-looking guy.
He's a quirky. I don't know about that. He's a quirky guy.
He's a decent-looking guy. They wouldn't put him on Jeopardy as a host if he wasn't decent-looking. I mean, Alex Trebek had a look. He's got a look. Let's put it that way. Aaron Rodgers has a look that's marketable.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
he's not a supermodel.
If he wasn't a top-tier quarterback in the NFL for years, he wouldn't be going down any runways.
I don't know.
I don't really want to talk about his looks, but he's above average looking.
Okay, that's
but
fine.
I think he's got a quirky enough personality that makes him intriguing.
Yeah,
he's a smart dude.
He's mysterious,
and he's a smart dude. That's also an appeal.
Yeah, I don't know how smart he is right now. I mean,
No. This is how he's always played it. He's always been very passive aggressive. That's his mantra. That's what he does, and it's fine.
I realize that, but you also here's the thing that you have to understand though. If he does force his way out of Green Bay and let's say to Denver, maybe he lands in a situation where there's enough talent there for him to win. To win a Super Bowl, I don't know. Here's the problem. Okay, great. You forced yourself out of Green Bay, and you've now put yourself in a position in Denver where you do have talent around you that maybe can win. I don't know that talent though is any more superior than what you have in Green Bay. Right. And here's the problem. In return for your services, you are now losing your next 3 years worth of first round picks, players that could potentially help Aaron Rodgers win a Super Bowl. And if Aaron Rodgers only has 3 years left, well, what good are those picks with the Packers? Mm-hmm. They're not going to help you in Denver. So it's like, if you're going to make that decision and you're going to force that trade and you go there, you better win. Mm-hmm. Better win, and it's not going to be easy because you're going to be your best picks that you're going to have are second rounders.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
You better hit on those picks if you're the Broncos.
Yeah. So I posted a little poll on Twitter, and I said, where do you think Aaron Rodgers goes this offseason? I put Broncos, Packers, Jeopardy, or some other team. And granted, if he decides to go to Jeopardy, he can do both. He can do Jeopardy But do you think that's an actual possibility for him this year? So I put it out there. Feel free to, if there's some other team that you want to put in the comments, go ahead and put it in the comments.
Here's the one thing I will say. Here's the one thing I will say. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's going to be a Packer. I mean, unless we are, calling his bluff, I believe him. I mean, the word out of there is that he wants nothing to do with this organization.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm not buying listen, again, with Jeopardy, he can do both, like you said. So Jeopardy could technically be a right answer, but he might be able to pull both off. And by the way, how much would the people at Jeopardy love that? Right? Like, not only do you have a host that you like, but you also have a guy with great cachet who's still currently in the NFL and dominating the position. I mean, what a boon for Jeopardy.
Do you think that they would dumb down the questions a little bit?
No, of course not. I don't think. No, why? They wouldn't change anything about their. They wouldn't change anything about their.
If you're trying to appeal to a bigger audience.
No, absolutely not. People wouldn't care. They would just want to see him. They just want to see him host. They wouldn't give a shit.
I think you get bored.
No, I don't think so. I don't think Jeopardy would compromise their format in any way for a host. I just don't.
I don't know. I'd be looking forward to Celebrity Jeopardy for sure.
Also, that would be a little bit of a slap in the face to Aaron Rodgers. Well, you're an athlete, so we're going to dumb down our questions.
It's not that. It's not that you're an athlete. It's that our new audience.
That's an insult to the audience too.
It is.
I don't think so.
It is, but
I don't think they would. No, I do not believe they'd compromise.
I don't think they would say they would do that.
Yeah, but you'd know. I mean, you'd start to know if some of the questions were like, the $100 question and like, who wants to be a millionaire? If they got to like that level, I think you'd be like, wait a minute. Something not right
I
here.
don't know if you saw my new shirt.
I did actually. It's really awesome. That's awesome. BB
Speaking
Dairy,
of,
man.
like, some
It's good
vintage
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not exactly wearing vintage today, but I do have my
Ooh.
authentic Phillies Bryce Harper jersey.
Ah, Harper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not your guy, but
I mean, hey, I don't particularly love some of the stuff that he says. I think he's a tremendous athlete. I think he is a bit overrated. But when he has a good year, it's different. He just can't seem to put good year after good year after good year after good year up.
I love his swing. I love his swing. It's violent.
It's too violent. That's the problem.
I know. I just love it though. It's because when he hits one out, you know it. I mean, that shit's majestic.
Well, yeah. Because I mean, he swings hard.
And I love lefty hitters. I just love left-handers. Well, I am left-handed, so. But I love the way the ball comes off the bat of a left-handed hitter. It's just so pure. And when a left-hander connects with especially like in Yankee Stadium too, where the porch is short and every home run looks majestic if you're going to right field. I mean, it's just, and I've seen Harper hit some bombs in Yankee Stadium too.
Serge is here.
Serge.
Yeah, I played golf with him last week.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Sure, he was better than me.
That's
what that would take much.
A little bit. I'd say probably about like 10, 15 strokes.
That's that's
because you shot about 120, right?
Yeah, 121. Yeah.
Yeah, he was I think 107. he was Serge was. We like to kind of just throw some little digs here and there at each other, but like really it's more just there in humor. And there was like, I don't know, it was like hole like 15 or something like that. And Serge was running on fumes. I could tell he was running on fumes. And he hit a ball and like completely fatted it. And I said something a little like kind of like a little cheeky. And he was kind of like, ugh. And he's never like that. he's usually like kind of like always laughing. He was at that point of the round, he was kind of like, if I had extras, I might snap one in half.
You throw one? Yeah. How would you describe my demeanor on the golf course?
Fine. Happy-go-lucky. You're just kind of out there.
I just embraced the suck. So
you were just having a good time.
Yeah,
nothing.
I was. The only thing that would have made that better would have been like a cigar and a beer.
I think like when you just kind of like get to the point where you're like, you hit it and you're kind of like, you just like walk right after it. Like, I'm just going to hit it again.
Yeah. Fuck it. Yeah.
Like it's not even.
I got a little bit of Happy Gilmore in me. Yeah.
A little bit, but but not kind of like, just keep going. Just like, all right, whatever.
Right.
This is not going well. It's not going well.
Right.
So therefore,
if I ever could put together just like a consistent round, you would probably see a very different side of me where I would be really locked in.
Well, I remember when we played in that league, we played that match when we were at
tournament?
HAI,
long
time ago.
Mm-hmm.
We won the tournament.
We won that tournament. Yep.
And we were all fired up. Like, I mean, we were like, Mom, we got to make this putt. We were like all intense and like we'd make it, be like, like on every hole.
Yeah, no, I know. That was great. That was a fun tournament.
That was fun. I had the lowest net score. I
didn't contribute much. I know that we took a couple of my putts, and I think one of my par 3 drives. I think we took.
I don't remember it that well.
I wasn't that bad.
I just remember the FootJoy shoes that I walked into the clubhouse and got because of the money I won.
I just remember between you and Mark and the other guy, his friend there, we had some bangers off the tee. We had some guys who could put the ball 250.
Yeah.
Plus.
Yeah. It was good. It was good stuff.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. It was a fun round for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into touched on that so far.
Well, this would be a good segue into golf.
Well, yeah. I mean, we can get into that. But, I mean, we got to talk Tebow real quick too. So
yes, Tebow. Yeah.
As of right now, you can't really see it that well on the screen. Yeah. But 12 votes in, 50% say Broncos, 50% say Packers.
Okay.
So
I think it's a coin. I think it's a coin toss. That's a good.
I would say that's pretty close.
I think that's a good read.
All right.
You also have a poll on Tebow.
Let's see any other more. So let's get into Tebow now, real quick. Tim Tebow. do you think Tim Tebow getting an invite to the Jags camp is a big deal? I had yes and no. That was it. Just yes and no. So far, 7 votes. Majority is no. So
yeah, that's where I voted. I voted no.
I saw a Yahoo post. They had this big thing. You open up Yahoo. First thing on there. And then first thing on there was fans and people, in outrage because Tim Tebow signs with Jags or gets invited to the camp of Jags. I'm like, why?
Why is this even shocking?
Why are you angry about this at all?
I know.
First of all, this is where he should have been originally. Second of all, it's not like they signed him to a $10 million deal. They invited him to camp.
A non-roster. Oh, if I had to get, their tight end situation's bad. If I had to guess, it would be under 5.
2.
That's bad.
2 touchdowns for the tight end.
That's not good.
You think you might need some help at tight end?
Listen, the guy's never played the position. He is still because he's still, he's in his 30s now, but he's still an athlete.
Yeah.
He's still an amazing athlete. I will tell you that I still believe he's the best college football player I've ever seen. It's just incredible. If Tony Robbins ever goes away, Tim Tebow could be your next great motivational speaker. He's just he's a winner and a champion in every way. Here's the thing that I just didn't get the shock and awe, right? Because the coach is Urban Meyer. Why would it shock you that Urban Meyer would bring Tim Tebow in? Why would that shock anybody? Look, just maybe you forget about that initially when you're like, wait a minute, why is anybody bringing Tim Tebow in? Oh, wait, Urban Meyer was his college coach at Florida. Yeah, He won national championships with the guy. Yeah, okay, you're right. That tracks. It's not really, I don't understand the big deal. And also, I know you and I have talked about this before. Tim Tebow is one of the few guys who we know he's a man of faith, but to me, he's one of the few guys who expresses that faith. And I genuinely believe it. And it just doesn't feel forced. This is just the life he lives.
Yeah.
He is a man of devout faith, and he lives his life that way.
Yes.
That way, and it feels genuine. It has always felt genuine to me from the beginning, And he's always been consistent about it. He's never wavered off of it. He's never been pressured off of it, and I like that about him. I wish I was as strong in my faith as he is in his, and we're of the same faith, so. I don't have the devotion that he does. I pray every day and, all that kind of stuff, but that guy lives it, and good for him. And he's, like I said, it's always felt organic and natural to me, not forced. So, if that is the thing about him that bothers you, I don't really know what to say to you. That's a you thing, not a him thing. Because to each his own, and how about just live and let live? And listen, if the guy can bring you something on the field, great. In a worst case scenario, who knows? Maybe Urban Meyer keeps him on as a coach, or at least he could just be like your sideline cheerleader.
Yeah.
Could fire people up, headbutt people without a helmet on. Tim Tebow will run through a brick wall for the team. I just don't have a problem with it. Honestly, I think only good can come of it. I see no negatives here at all. That's the thing. What's the risk? What is the risk? If he sucks, you're not going to waste a roster spot on him. So what's the risk? And there's no monetary risk here. Not to mention the Jags are flush with cash. So there's no risk here. 0.0. To quote Dean Wormer, who we will be getting to later.
In our recast the movie, Animal House.
Recasting of my all-time favorite comedy, Animal House.
Yes. It is.
I think there's not much left to say about Tim Tebow. It just, it is what it is. It's a good, I can't sit here and say it's a good signing. It's just a signing.
Yes.
Right now, he's just a non-roster invitee, and we'll see what he does.
Yes.
But I wish him the best. I really do. I've always rooted for the guy.
Yeah. He seems like a genuine dude. That's
also
you can't ask for much more than that with people.
He threw my daughter a baseball at a minor league baseball game too. So I'm cool with him.
By the way, I think most people, but I would say at least some people thought he was going to make it. I personally did not, and that never came to fruition for Tim Tebow. He never was able to be a Major League Baseball player.
I wanted to believe he would make it. Oh, are you talking about baseball?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
He was
football. I always wanted to believe he'd make it. Yeah, he was not good at it. No, not a good baseball player. I always wanted to believe as a football player he'd make it. But what was weird was when he came out, and a lot of people said this, but I always was like, he should try to be a tight end. Look at his build.
Yeah.
Look at his body type. Yes. I mean, if he can just catch the ball.
That's what I think a lot of people thought.
Yeah, right.
And he was just, no, I'm stubborn. I'm quarterback.
I'm a quarterback. Yeah.
If 99% of the people that are out there are telling you you're not a quarterback, probably not a quarterback.
Probably not. I mean, again, good for him for sticking to his guns. Yeah. He was wrong.
He's genuine.
But again, he could. Hey, listen. Again,
genuinely thought he was a quarterback.
He has eternal belief and faith in himself too.
And he is a quarterback in college.
And probably I believe he is the greatest college football player I've ever seen. I mean, the guy won multiple national championships. He won Heisman trophies.
That might be a thing to talk about in the future.
He would be on my Rushmore, let's put it that way, of college football athletes.
You know what? We have a bare spot.
Yeah.
How about college athletes in general?
Sure, that'd be fun. I'd put him on it. I can tell you right now.
All right,
he'd be for sure my football guy. Ooh, I'd have to think hard about basketball. That'd be.
Hey, this is a tough. PG show. Don't talk about that.
What did I say?
You're thinking hard.
What? Oh. Well, there were a lot of penis jokes prior to us going live.
It's true.
As I said that, our amount of viewers was cut in half. That's funny.
College athletes.
Yeah. I like that one. Regarding Tebow, I'm pretty sure I know what happened. Stevie loved Tebow. Athletes. Stevie's in heaven. Tebow loves Jesus. Stevie nudged the big guy to give Tebow a chance. Oh, that's funny.
We got oh no, we didn't get a comment. I thought we had a comment. All right.
No, Timmy Tim texted me.
Timmy Tim, bring it to the freaking, come on. Bring it to the show.
Oh, it was a you wouldn't have understood the reference.
That's even better. I'd be confused. By the way, Serge agrees with you. Always try to have a good time. It's hard sometimes. Cigar would be nice next time. Yeah. We have to. Me, you, and Serge will have to get out there and play.
I have not had a cigar in 3-4 years, probably. Last time I actually
probably cigar ever again.
Really? No.
Yeah.
Did you have a bad cigar experience?
No, I don't like the. I enjoy it while it's happening. I hate the after.
Well, the smell. I mean, which you just can't get off of you.
It's just in your mouth, and it's there. It's in there for 24 hours, and it's. I like the taste. Oh yeah.
Yep. Yes, it is true. It does stick.
Yeah. And it's fine. I enjoyed a cigar, but I'm by that. I'm beyond that.
Yeah. It's got staying power. I'll give you that. All right, what are we on to next?
Let's get into since we were talking about golf, and we're playing at the end of the month, right? Are we still doing that?
Yeah, the 28th. Yeah.
28th. Whichever.
I couldn't get anyone else, so I think
it's Tuesday. That means we're 10 days out. I could potentially do it. So I could potentially have Serge and Cash go then.
Okay.
Maybe if
cool,
Serge,
I could meet Serge. That'd
if
be
Serge
fun.
is available. Serge, are you available on the 28th?
Are you available May 28th? That's a Friday, right?
It's a Friday,
yeah. Yeah. Because I'm just taking the day off.
Around the same time, around 9:30ish. 9:30ish. 9:20.
You can see how bad I suck.
Be fun. We'll have to have some stuff going on. We'll do like a match or something like that. We'll have to figure out who's on whose team.
Oh, sure.
We could have the Texas boys versus the Connecticut boys. Oh, Cash and Serge are both from Texas.
All right. Cool. Fair.
Whoa. Serge.
By the way, is tonight that play-in game between the Warriors and the Lakers? I have to watch that. To me, that is actually must-see TV.
Who do you think wins?
I'm going to go with Golden State. I like the way they've played this year. I think they're a little bit better of a team. And let's be honest, they've been hurt so much the last couple of years. They're actually one of those teams where I could see them making a scary little run. I don't think they could win. There's a little too much firepower in the West. But I could see them being like getting in and winning a series or two, and maybe
it's tomorrow night.
Oh, it's tomorrow. What's today? Is today the 18th?
Yes.
I thought it was the 18th. I thought it was tonight. Okay,
tomorrow.
I guess tomorrow. Okay. My youngest's birthday is
Google
tomorrow.
says tomorrow at 10 p.m.
Oh, well then there you go.
So freaking late.
God, I fall asleep at 10. I'm like out by 10. How am I going to do that?
That's late.
That's
I'll
upsetting.
get to watch the first half.
Ugh. I'm going to have to I have to try to take a nap. But how do I nap when I'm working?
I think the Lakers take it. I think the Lakers are going to.
Do you? All right. I'll say Golden State.
I also think the Lakers are going to win the whole thing.
Do you?
Yep.
Wow. You think I got to flip that switch, huh?
I actually think that Chris Paul should win the MVP, not Steph Curry. Even though I think Steph Curry is amazing, and I've always loved Steph Curry, I think Chris Paul has done a better job with less. I
would agree with that. I don't. Steph Curry is still surrounded by elite talent. In some certain areas.
It's not like it was.
No, it's not like it was.
And Steph Curry is the greatest shooter of all time.
Yeah.
And
probably, yeah.
And I would say, but Chris Paul he's done it all. Yeah, he really, I would agree with you. And he is not only a good offensive weapon, but he's not like the offensive weapon he used to be, but he's a complete offensive weapon with dishing, and scoring. And then on top of that, one of top 5 best defensive players in the league. I hope, and again, obviously as a Spurs fan, there hasn't been much to root for. They're in a play-in game. That actually might be tonight. They will probably lose to Memphis. Did you watch Tim Duncan?
Oh, his Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love his hair, by the way.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, he's great. I love that Pop took a game off to go to the
and I like how he, somebody yelled out Pop in the background, and he was like, "No, I can't talk about him. He's gonna be mad at me." And then of course, he spent like 2.5 minutes, an ode to Pop.
I will say, I hope. I don't root for the Knicks, but as a person who likes the Yankees, I kind of can get behind the Knicks a little bit. I kind of sort of semi-root for the Knicks just because I hope that they do well, even though I hate their owner. James Dolan's a douchebag. No, he's not selling that team. But I kind of hope Julius Randle gets some votes. I don't think he will not win, but I would like to see him finish in the top 5 for MVP. That'd be the Knicks have been a hell of a story this year. I mean, from absolute just NBA, bottom of the barrel to being the 4th seed and actually hosting a series now in the Garden. That's a great turnaround. Thibodeau should absolutely be coach of the year. If he's not, they really need to launch a fucking investigation because that's a joke if he doesn't win coach of the year. And I would like to see Julius Randle, who was, if he doesn't win MVP, he will win most improved player. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see him in the MVP top 5. I think that'd be nice. And I think he deserves it.
All right. Once again, go ahead and click that subscriber button. Click the thumbs up. The thumbs up give us a big help. Help us with that YouTube algorithm. Get the word out. And then also hit that notification bell if you'd like to be notified anytime we go live. Because apparently sometimes, we can't do our show on Monday. Bryman had some computer issues. And he was not very happy about it. And we were trying to squeeze it in, but it just didn't work out. And then so we moved to Tuesday. And kind of last minute, but we did it. We got it in. So there you go. And also go over and head over to our Twitter at Shane and Bryman, and you can vote on any of one of the few polls that we have out there. Again, so far, Tebow, People Don't Care. I have the Snake Eyes teaser trailer. He fired up for the movie. Only 4 votes so far. And everybody so far is fired up. And then we are at, for Aaron Rodgers, 20 votes. Lots of votes. 45% Broncos. 45% Packers. 10% Jeopardy.
Okay.
So far. That's the most popular poll right there. But we're going to be getting into all that. We're going to be recasting a movie in a little bit as well. But first, we're going to get into a little golf. I don't know if I have any golf clips or anything like that. Do I? No golf stuff. Maybe I should get some golf stuff. What do you think? I should probably get.
I don't know.
We talk about it occasionally. Here, we'll do this. Ready?
How about just the get in the hole?
I don't have that on golf.
Okay.
So we have golf. PGA Championship is this week, the 20th, 23rd. Colin Morikawa won it last year, and they are playing at Kiawah Island, which is beautiful course. It's a absolutely stunning course, and I cannot wait to see. There's going to be some good scores. I would, unless the greens are rolling super fast and crazy.
I don't know. Are you sure though? It's an island, a lot of wind.
It's a tough course, but it's not. I think it's scoreable.
Well, I'm just saying the wind could wreak havoc, though. I mean, it's an island.
I know
Although,
it is,
according to Chief Brody, it's only an island if you look at it from the water.
Yeah.
But
it's not the. I mean, it is. There's lots of trees, so like it really depends. I mean,
okay.
I think that it's a beautiful.
Who are the good? You would know this better than I would. Who are the good? Because on a course like that, where I do still think wind could play a factor, who are the good low ball hitters? Who are the guys who could drive the ball, keep it low?
All the good players.
But there's got to be some who are better than others.
Not really. They're all. I mean, I would say 99% of all of the PGA players can hit the ball low. But I think you're talking like, what's his face? Like Rory can do it. Spieth can do it.
Now Rory is coming off
a
victory. Rory's coming off a victory at Quail Hollow, right? Mm-hmm. So this would be consecutive wins. I hate.
Somebody won last week. So.
Oh, okay. I always get worried about guys like winning consecutively. I just feel like it's just hard to do.
I think this is Spieth's tournament. Like, and I said that about the Masters as well, and he put up a good fight. But he has been playing so well, and he's consistently in the top 10. So I'm just waiting for him to put it all together because he's been consistent 3 out of the 4 days, and there's that one day where he just doesn't put up a good number. So I'm just waiting for him to have a tournament like this. He comes out and just 4 days of just sticking it to pins, dropping putts. Yeah. Because the people that win these tournaments are the ones that sink all of their 8-footers, all their 10-footers. They make them all. And I'm hoping that Spieth is, because I need him to get back just for me. He's my favorite player that's in the PGA like consistently. I would love to see Phil. Of
course,
do some good stuff, but I would like to see Spieth get another.
At this point, for me, for
belt.
Phil, I just want him to complete the Slam and get the U.S. Open. That's going
to be tough. That's the toughest.
That's going to be tough, right? It's the hardest.
It's the toughest one here. The British Open is also very tough.
The British is brutal,
but
he won the British.
But he could get. I'm just saying, as far as tough, majors. Like I feel like the you need a certain skill set to win the Masters, but I think a lot of these, professional golfers have those skills, so that the Masters is basically winnable by anyone. Not really, but you don't have to be a super long hitter. You don't have to be, you just have to know how to curve the ball. You know how to hit the spots and, put it towards the pins that in the locations that you need to. Whereas, because it's the course that gets played every single year. Now in these other tournaments, it's a little different because they get played in different places. So I think that it's just one of those things that like the PGA is usually an easier one. The US Open's the hardest one in the US soil. And then they have the British, which is also incredibly tough just because of how much wind and stuff you have to battle. But like if you're having a good ball striking week, and I think that's for anybody, you could be old and still score well enough to have a top 5 finish. So Phil could potentially still do that, but I think that the U.S. Open is going to be tough because your putter has to be hot, and putters. Right. As far as Phil goes, it's why he's never really won the U.S. Open, is because his putter's never been quite hot enough. And
So prediction-wise for this tournament, just to maybe be a little different, although a guy who has played very well, I think he's had a few top 3 finishes is Victor Hovland. I'll go with him. I think maybe, I mean, he's a top 5 golfer, I think, right now. But as far as like seeking this would be his first major, right?
Yeah,
I
so.
think. Yeah. So,
I think he's gotten 1 win under his belt. Maybe 2.
I know he's had some top 3 or top 5 consecutive finishes, a few of them. So I think he's been playing very well. I know that because I know I've heard his name a lot. So I'll go with him just because
he's a really fun golfer.
Although Rory is back to being the number 1 overall, right? Again, he's the number 1 player in the world right now.
I'm not sure. That's not something I really follow until it gets a little closer towards the end.
Yeah, it's early.
But let's see. He's got.
This is only our second major of the season, so
yeah.
We're not even at the halfway point, really. So
like he might have 2 wins.
Who's that? Hovland?
Hovland, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got
good golfer.
Yeah, he's got 2 wins. He's the best he's finished is the U.S. Open where he tied for 12th. Okay. That was in 2019.
We'll see. All right. So we'll see.
21st
should be an interesting tournament.
2021 this year. PGA Championship last year, 33rd.
What was that tournament? Because I know I had been keeping an eye on it, and then I just lost track once it got to the weekend. What was that tournament that Phil was like leading going into the weekend? There was
wasn't that Quail Hollow?
Was it Quail?
Yeah.
He didn't end up winning, right?
No.
Like
he wasn't even close.
He wasn't even close.
He totally like collapsed on Saturday or something like that.
That's
the problem. He needs to have the 4 days, and like I don't know if he has that in him anymore to have the.
I don't either.
Days.
I don't either.
Especially because he's doing so much marketing now, like the sunglasses and all that. Like,
yeah,
stop, dude. Like, just go out there and play. And I know that he can play top tier golf, but like the glasses, the belt, the fashion designer. Like, I understand you look good, feel good, but come on, let's go out and make some birdies.
Trying to become this kind of like icon now, and it's like, okay,
and it's fine, but
it's fine.
You still got some tournaments to win.
Maybe he knows he can't win on that level anymore.
No, then he shouldn't have accepted the invite. But anyway, let's get into let's get out of golf. I actually have my league tonight. I'm going to be playing. We destroyed last week, absolutely destroyed. Oh man, I got in the head of the guy that was playing. So it was like, we have a team golf. It's me and my friend Cash. We play on our team. And then we play against the other 2. And I go against their low handicap. He goes against their higher handicap. And, started off playing okay. Like, wasn't playing great. As I usually start off a little slow. Mm-hmm. And then I had a double bogey on hole 5, I think.
Okay. Yep.
I think it was hole 5. Then 6 came around. And I was just like, that double bogey. Because the reason why I double bogeyed, I was in a sand trap fairway bunker. Right?
Yeah.
Take my swing. And I had this shot just like a day before.
Yeah.
And you took it, hit it well, just on the fringe, easily up and down par, right?
Yep.
I go and take my second shot out of the bunker, and my front foot slipped on my downswing, and the club hit like 3 inches behind the ball. Unfortunately, there is a bunch of garbage that's about 20 yards in front of me, and it goes for like 40 yards. Yeah. And I went right into the garbage. So then I had to re-tee, hit it up, got it a little. I should have taken an extra club, didn't. Got it about 30 feet, and then I ended up having a double bogey that hole. Yeah. So then I got to the next hole, and I was like, you know what? Time to lay on the gas. Hit my tee shot, had a bad tee shot, but I struck it really well. I just flared it out to the right a little bit, had a horrible lie. But I'm like, I can get this there. I just got to roll it down the hill. Hit it. Boom. Got it. Chipped it within a foot. And then I started making this guy putt like 3-footers. Because you can say, go ahead and pick it up if it's close. But he kept on hitting these chips that were like within 3, like anywhere from 4 to 3 feet. And I was like, I'm making him putt them. And he missed them all. And then, so it started getting in his head. And then, like I had my next one, I hit it to the left a little bit. My iron striking wasn't very good. And then I had to chipped it within like 2 inches. Almost made it. And so then I had a par there. And then he had another 3-footer and he missed it. And it was like, and then I had like a par 5 and I was like, I'm going for it, baby. I was like, time to let my distance run true. Hit it, got on in 2, made a birdie. And then it was just, it was like, then it was just like the train was going down the tracks and he was done. So hopefully something similar happens today where we do well, but we'll see. We'll see.
What do you get for winning this? Anything?
Yeah,
Just
you get
bragging
like
rights
stuff
or?
at the end of the year.
Oh,
At the end of the year, it's a long season. It goes all
This
the way
is
through
at
the summer.
Lyman, right?
Yeah, all
Yeah,
the way through
okay.
the summer. I might be the birdie leader so far
Oh, yeah?
this year. Yeah, I've had like 5, I think. So that would be like 5 in 5 rounds, which isn't like tremendous. But
What is your
I am
official?
the lowest handicap in the.
What is your
in the league.
official handicap now? Is it 7, 5, 7?
No, it's like 6, like 6. It's between 6 and 7.
Oh, okay. So I said 5 or 7, so I was
Between 6 and 7.
okay.
Like I think the actual, like I can tell you right now, it's
impressive.
It depends. So like on the GIN, which is so it says 6.5 is my handicap.
Mm-hmm.
On GIN, which is like the national one. But
Yeah.
if you go to 18 birdies, which is the one that I always keep track of all my scores on, it tells me that like I'm like a 4.8 or something like that, which is not true.
Oh.
Like that is, I don't know where it came up with that number, but like all the same scores are in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it tells me like I'm like a 4.9 or something like that, and I'm not that good. I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm that good.
What's your like realistic goal? I mean, scratch, I'm sure, right? But what would be like? What do you think your attainable goal is
for golf?
Yeah.
I think that I can become a plus handicap.
Okay.
Which would be shooting under par regularly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And I would like to be able to have the ability to try out for the Travelers.
Oh, okay.
That's my ultimate goal. Before I'm 45, so I have a few years. I have to shave off a good 4 or 5 strokes. I have to be able to shoot. I've never shot under par in my life.
Yeah.
The closest I ever came was 1 over, and that was the round that we played at Yale.
Yeah. Yep.
And that was my best round ever. Never been able to replicate that. But yeah, I've been shooting in the high 70s regularly this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm hopefully, I've had like just bad mistakes that I think I can get down. I think I can get it down a little bit further.
All right.
So we'll see. I'm actually playing a new course on Friday. I haven't played ever before. It's the Farms up I think near Cheshire.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to playing there. And we'll see how my game translates to a course that I haven't played, because I've played Lyman a billion times. So I kind of know the course. I know exactly what to pull out of my bag almost every hole.
Yep.
So it's we'll see how it goes. All right, let's get into the next topic. Let's talk. I have the clip here. Let's get into baseball. This is just a quick baseball clip, but I get to actually use the baseball segment drop here. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Time to get into baseball. And this is going to be really brief because I have the video here for us.
Yeah.
And here's the video. I'll put it on here. I'll actually shrink it up too so that I can... Nope. That's not what I'm trying to do. Why isn't it moving? Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's not good. Dude got annihilated. You see it on the on YouTube yet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like after that guy took that hit, none of those guys wanted any of this. Except for when they all jumped on his back.
Right.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Because he looks like the way that he threw that punch. That's not his first fight.
I'll give him credit too. Those guys were running at him. He didn't run away. He didn't back down. He just kind of stood and he kind of held his ground. I mean, I mean that's just a clean clocking right there.
Yes.
I mean, just
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's sporting an authentic Manny Machado jersey there too. Or just to be
authentic.
Just to be clear. Just to be clear on what he's wearing. I like to come at it from the fashion perspective. Yeah. Oh, I'm telling you though, I saw one. It is that angle too, but I saw it in slow motion where something flies out of the. Oh, you know what? I see it now. It's spit. I mean, he just literally knocked the saliva out of his mouth. I thought maybe it was a tooth, but
so yeah, that was something very interesting. But like the whole thing is like, my favorite part was the guy who came like jumping over the chairs.
The
he goes
seat,
over there,
yeah.
and then he's like, he gets to the guy, but somebody else jumps on him, and then he immediately goes like this.
Yeah.
And he did that like a bunch of times. Like, I'm not in this. I'm not in this.
Right. Well, he probably didn't want to go to jail.
He's gonna. Well, you don't have to do that. Just don't touch the guy. Don't go at him. Like, I understand you're trying to protect people or whatever, but he was clearly going after that one guy. And it was done.
What I find to be most interesting about this is that the guy who got hit. First of all, I want to know what they were saying to each other, because for that guy not to press charges is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, I know some people are just like, oh yeah, he took it like a man. He took his punch. He went down, and and he didn't press any charges. Great. Okay. Well, that's nice. This isn't the Wild West. We live in a very litigious, society these days. So for that guy not to press charges is wildly impressive in today's era. But I want to know what was said. I mean, what did he say? Listen. To walk up to a person at a baseball game, no less, and throw a punch, you've got to be pissed. I mean, somebody had to have said something that got in your head. Yeah. This could not have just been some, friendly banter back and forth, trash talking about the Rockies and the Padres. I mean, what did he do? Make a joke about Tatis's mother or something? Did he go after, Machado's sister? I don't know. I don't know what the guy said, but I want to know. I want to know.
Yeah.
What does it take to get someone to get up out of their chair, walk 15 to 20 feet over to their left, and knock a dude out? You have to say something. Now, listen, they're both white guys, so I don't think racism played into this, right?
I wonder if that guy said something about the guy's girlfriend or something. Like, I don't know. I didn't see where that guy came from, if he was with a girl or.
I'll tell you what. I mean, again, what are you saying, though, that's getting you to get up out of your seat and do that?
I mean, there's a few things I could, especially with somebody that has a little booze in him. Although I don't know if this guy had any booze in him.
I don't know.
He came up and he like.
I don't know. He looks pretty clear to me.
And was.
Yeah.
That punch was legit. Like he used.
Yeah, no. He's done that.
No,
you're right. I mean, he definitely. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like a crappy looking, flailing punch. I mean, the guy clearly connected. He looked like.
Threw his shoulder into it and connected right into the jaw, and that guy was done.
I have never seen like a body just sort of flop like that.
He boom, and then he just slowly walked back. Like
yeah. It was again good form.
Good form.
I mean,
bad.
It wasn't very nice, but the form was the technique.
I guess it wasn't nice depending on what happened. We don't really know.
Again, because again. The guy got knocked the fuck out, and then it would also embarrassed. I mean, embarrassed on
we still don't know who's going to play Chris Tucker,
but ultimately like embarrassed on national TV and didn't press charges. Yeah. Like he must have said something bad, or he really is just I don't know if you whatever you want to call him, a man's man or something. It was just like, nah, you know what? I talk trash. I got knocked out for it. I'm going to take my lump and move on. And if that's the case. Wow, tip of the cap to you, dude. Because not a lot of people are like that. But
yeah, that's what's up.
I don't know what I would have done. I really don't. If I got knocked out like that, I don't know what I would have done. I'd like to believe I wouldn't have pressed charges, but then
you wouldn't have fell down.
I would have. I would have
crumpled.
I would have been
wet paper bag.
I don't know how much older that guy was than the guy throwing the punch. I think he was a little bit older, but again, I guess the only lesson here is, I guess the moral of the story is here, don't allow your mouth to write checks that your body can't cash. I think that's really what it comes down to, right? If you're not going to be willing to take that knockout blow, then just don't fucking talk shit. Because you just don't know. You don't know what another person is capable of, I guess that's all he can say. Hell of a punch.
It was.
It really was.
I'm glad everybody's okay for the most part.
Yeah, I'm sure that guy's pride is hurt, but
yeah, a bit. All right, let's see what we got here. Rodgers.
I think his mouth probably hurts too.
Rodgers, 26 votes, 50% Broncos, 42.3% Packers, 7.7% Jeopardy.
Whoa, sorry, what was it again? What were the first two?
I hate you. I'm going to punch you in the face right now. That's what happened. That's what happened. They were having a conversation. One guy didn't pay attention, and they went over and talked to me in the face.
That's it, huh? He didn't pay attention.
What? Can you repeat that? You mother... I get that enough from my kids.
Yeah, no kidding.
What? I just repeated it to your face. I'm 6 inches from your face. Listen to me.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
What? What did you say? Can you pick up your stuff? What? Can you pick up your stuff? You left it all over the floor. What?
I stopped bothering with that. That's not a fight I can win anymore. And it's not worth it for me yelling.
So Broncos, 50%. Packers, 42%.
Okay.
Jeopardy, 7.7.
So the Broncos have taken the lead. And that's where I'm at. Because you know what's going to happen, just to close the book on this? The Packers are going to realize this guy's not going to play for us. We have to get something for him. We have to. And we could get a shitload for him.
The sword.
But what's great about it, here's why, if you're the Packers, I think you almost have to do it. First of all, if you are right about Jordan Love, you are set. Because then he's your guy. He still needs some weapons. Nervous. I mean, don't get me wrong. Devontae Adams is great. I believe Devontae Adams and DeAndre Hopkins are the best receivers in the game. But if you've got Aaron Jones, you've got weapons. So, but then you've also set yourself up in the draft for the next 3 years. You will have six first-round picks.
They don't want to try with Jordan Love. They're terrified.
No. I 100% agree with you, because they would rather take their chances over the next 3 years with Aaron Rodgers hoping to win another Super Bowl than to take the long term. But again, here's the thing. Even if Jordan Love's not the guy, you've got 6 first-round draft picks over the next 3 years. Yeah. You can get your heir apparent.
It makes sense. But
you can't. And the Packers, let's be honest, the Packers, if they're good at one thing, it's drafting quarterbacks. Or at least acquiring quarterbacks, getting themselves in a position to get the quarterback.
I hope they do it. I really do.
How many teams, other than the Patriots, could say they've had that kind of quarterback success over the last 2 generations? And the only reason I say 2 generations for the Patriots is because Brady's been around that fucking long. It feels like it was 2 generations. It was like 18 years of tyranny.
He's been quarterbacks in the 60s. But anyway, all right,
Who was the last Patriot quarterback? Steve Grogan? Oh, wait, no, it was Drew Bledsoe. So actually, yeah, and Drew Bledsoe was a decent quarterback. Fucker. God.
All right, let's get into...
let's go to Animal House. I want to do something that makes me happy.
I'm going to sort it out.
All right, we're going to sort this out. I want to touch on this, a couple other things real quick. Jupiter's Legacy. This is a Netflix TV show. It's basically another superhero show.
Yeah.
And wearing the headphones and talking is tough, isn't it?
No, I have TMJ, so like my jaw is kind of.
It doesn't help because it pushes down on it a little bit.
Very little helps with it. It's horrible.
So Jupiter's Legacy is another superhero show that's kind of a little bit more R-rated. And at first, when I started watching it, I haven't finished the series yet, but I'm close. I only have like an episode or 2 left. When I first started watching this episode, I was like, this is the dumbest thing that the way that, was it Josh Duhamel?
Josh Duhamel?
Josh Duhamel? Duhamel?
Whatever. Yeah.
However you pronounce his name. I think he's the lead character, the lead superhero.
That's a pretty looking man right there.
He's like a woodsy man.
Yes.
Like builds a log cabin kind of man.
Yeah, I like if I had like a man crush, it'd be like guys like him and like Timothy Oliphant. Timothy Oliphant's that's what I want to look like when I get older. It's not going to happen.
Pretty though.
He is. I loved him in Scream 2.
Yeah, he's pretty, whereas Josh Duhamel.
Dumel. Yeah. Dumel.
I can't say his name. Josh Duhamel is more of a rugged man.
He is.
Like he's like a
he can wield an axe. He can wield an axe. Yeah.
So he's like the lead superhero, and I think after the second episode, like after you get through those two, it really
Yeah.
starts to click and you start to get into it. And it's like, I'm very intrigued by this. And I've been, more than mildly entertained by it. Not so much that like the Umbrella Academy or The Boys, like those are like,
Yep.
I need to watch every episode as fast as possible. This one I can kind of like, just kind of, whatever, just take my time.
Yeah.
But I've been enjoying it. It's been a decent. I would probably give it like a 6.5 out of 10. Good,
Okay.
not great. But I will say, Mitchell's vs. the Machines, animated movie, Sony,
Yeah.
similar style to Miles Morales, Spider-Man, the multiverse. It's a very similar style of animated movie.
Mm-hmm.
It is tremendous. I absolutely loved it. It's hilarious. It has those heartfelt moments. It also gives shine to the LGBTQ community because
Okay.
the main character, the teen girl,
Mm-hmm.
is seemingly a lesbian, and they
Okay.
out her at the end of the movie. Like I don't think you really know it because I didn't see like the first couple minutes because my kids turned it on and were watching it while I was, getting stuff ready for the
Yeah.
movie. And so I don't know if they actually said something at the beginning, but the movie is absolutely hilarious. It's about basically kind of like Apple taking over, Siri taking over,
Oh.
and the family has to like save the earth, save the world.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
it's
Interesting.
tremendous. I highly recommend watching it. So
It is so choice. If you have the means, I highly recommend it.
it's a good movie. I would say I would give that an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
All right.
very, very good. Maybe more.
And
I need to watch it maybe one more time.
you did a poll about the Snake Eyes trailer, right?
Yes, I did. And we're gonna get into that right now. Snake Eyes trailer isn't getting as much traction. Let's see what we got here. Sports and Swords. Let's get to Snake Eyes. I said, after the Snake Eyes teaser trailer, are you fired up for the movie? Go Joe or GI No. So as of right now, everybody that's voted, yes. There's only been like several votes. So, but everybody's happy about it. I'm happy about it. What's the matter about
Yeah.
it? You okay?
I'm fine. I can hear Lex upstairs
Yeah.
whining about
I
something.
can hear him a little bit too. He's probably good.
Yeah, he's very upset.
Yeah, he's very mad. Go up there and he's gonna throw you against the wall. Like, Dada!
He's
I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna stay a Packer.
he is physical, and you can hear him. He's a handful.
He's imposing.
He is imposing. He's thick. Wow. Do you hear him? It's like a rhino up there. Then you got Yoda barking too.
Yeah. And
Life
Yoda's
is
not small either, is it?
No, that's a big dog.
Yeah.
That's a big boy. Yeah. So then you got him barking at God knows what, probably the FedEx guy or UPS man or whatever. Or maybe even the DHL guy. They're still around, Can't believe that.
All right, so let's get into. I'm very excited for Snake Eyes.
Yeah, me too.
I like the trailer. It was really too short to really get too much.
It's a
into
teaser.
It,
Yeah.
I am very excited about all these martial art movies. I am loving it. Like I love the martial arts in, Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
It's not a great movie, but I'm hopeful for the future.
Yeah, but we
If I'm
both liked it.
Yeah, I'm hopeful for the future. Like I liked how they set it up with I'm guessing the little bit of money that they had to make the movie.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that they can, continue with like a storyline like they kind of had at the beginning and keep that flowing throughout, and do it that way. Instead of just being kind of like.
I still think, given the basis point for what that movie was, which was a video game about a tournament, I still think that movie was almost probably as good as it could have been.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of anxious to see what.
Except for the fact that there wasn't an actual tournament in it. That's the part.
That's what we need.
That's right. That's what you want.
You got to get the people together. I don't care if you want to have some side movies and stuff like that. Like that was entertaining. You could go a little deeper into some of these characters, like Scorpion. Like
maybe that was the idea.
Give me a preview of what Scorpion and Sub-Zero were like before this battle that they had.
Right. Like that's like See, because I get, could you maybe call this Mortal Kombat almost like somewhat of an origin, because you got a lot of it in there, and maybe
it's a prequel basically,
and maybe that's what, right, and maybe that's what Mortal Kombat 2 is then.
Yeah,
maybe that's the tournament, because
hopefully.
or is it the search for Johnny Cage? I don't know.
And I hope they need to get to the tournament. They can't prolong this too much because you're going to lose fans. You got to get
right.
That's what people
right.
want
The
to see.
tournament is right. Like Mortal Kombat 2, and if there's a 3, should both be tournament.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat.
And they could have side movies, like go ahead, have a movie where you go and seek out Johnny Cage and like end up having to fight him, or and all that kind of, like, or show him like like the Shang Tsung and all these people coming after Johnny Cage and like having some battles that way. Like, go ahead, do that.
Yeah.
But don't call it Mortal Kombat.
Right. You need the tournament.
Call it The Search for Johnny Cage or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Let's move on.
Yep. Now, recast a movie. We got it here. You ready?
This one was hard for me. Well, again, this is my favorite comedy of all time, but I, as you know, couldn't just go 5-7 characters deep. I basically went like the whole damn
I know.
thing.
You basically did like the whole.
I went bonkers. But I will, once we get past our first top whatever 5, 6, 7.
I'm gonna go into it real quick.
I will run down the others very quick.
So I did Otter, Boone, Bluto, Katie, Wormer, Professor Jennings, and Pepperidge.
Flounder.
Oh. No, Mandy Pepperidge.
Mandy Pepperidge. Okay, yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. All right. I'll be curious to see if we have any in common here. I think we might. I think we're gonna have one or two.
I'll start first.
Okay.
I'll start with. Who do you want to start with first? Does it matter?
No.
I think we'll end with Bluto.
You call it, because there's yes. Okay,
we'll
sure.
End with Bluto. So I'm going to start off with Otter, who was played by Eric Stratton. He was 31 years old when he did the role. I found somebody who was 31 years old and also can play this kind of.
No, I think you meant he was played by Tim Matheson. Eric Stratton.
Oh yeah,
was
sorry.
his name.
Yeah, Eric Stratton was his name.
He played
Tim
Eric
Matheson
Stratton.
Yeah.
Tim Matheson.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I found somebody that was also 31. And similar look. I think he could pull it off. I think he can pull off the suave kind of character, like not really suave, a little suave. I would say a little suave. Taron Egerton.
Oh, good. Very nice. That's a good start.
He's a little buff, a little too buff, but
that's okay.
Lean down a little bit, and but he has that. He's kind of cool. He's kind of a cool guy. Got a little bit of a look to him, like you're like, yeah, I want to see what this guy's up to.
I like it.
You can see him being a ladies' man. He's already done it in Kingsman.
Yes. So for Eric Stratton, Otter, I actually tried to go younger. Like I tried to go in like the vein of college, early 20s, right?
I tried to keep it close to their age because I was like, he was 31. I was like, and you could tell.
Yes, you could. Yes. I mean, everybody in that movie was like,
they're all like 30.
I went, so for Eric Stratton, the role of Otter, I went Logan Lerman, who, if you don't know who he is, Percy Jackson.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I like his look. I think he could pull that role off really well. And I loved him as Percy Jackson. I got to be honest.
That's a solid one. I like that.
So there you go. Logan Lerman.
All right. So
who's next?
Let's do Boone.
Boone.
This one I got. So he was 31.
Katie's boyfriend and the somewhat dorky sidekick of Otter.
Yeah.
I would call him dorky. I shouldn't call
Peter
him
Riegert. Is that what his name is?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
He was 31 when he played him.
Yep.
I got a guy who's 34. He's still relatively young, but I feel like he could get into this persona. They have similar looks, not as tan, but similar looks. He's also a little bigger, but I think that you could play to his kind of comedic verbiage.
Sure.
And that's Miles Teller.
Oh, okay. Yeah, nice. That's a good one. That's good. He looks. See, if I had gone a little bit older, that would have been that's like the perfect pick. I like that pick a lot. I went with the guy from Ready Player One, Ty Sheridan.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He was my Boone, Ty Sheridan.
Yeah.
Ready Player One. I liked the look. I kind of felt like he could slide into that role.
Yeah. I like that. It's a good one.
So Like I said, I went a little bit younger here. Well, with the obvious exceptions of guys like Dean Wormer, I went with the Dean Wormer one. We're gonna have fun with because you and I both had similar situations there where we switched.
We kind of like we both because I had two characters. We kind of talked about that real briefly. We didn't give who he was. I kind of gave my original pick. To him, and then I just kind of said, but it came out to be somebody different. I said it was going to be a different race. And
right.
That's where. So
I did the same thing. That's funny that we did that.
All right, so I have. Let's do Katie.
Sure.
This one for me is a little bit. It's probably a bigger age gap, but it's still close. But I feel like the look between the two are so similar, and I feel like she could easily look a little younger.
Tough shoes to fill here with Karen Allen.
Yeah. Emma Stone.
Nice. Yep. Sure.
She's a little older. She's 5 years older, but she can easily she's got the same kind of facial features.
Yep.
And I feel like she could very easily.
Yeah.
She's a talented actress, so I'm not that worried.
She could play anything basically. I mean, she could probably read the phone book and you'd be like, oh, that's really good acting. I went with too, I think that little list. I went with the young girl there from the movie Blockers, Catherine Newton. She was kind of, I mean, she's not the lead. The lead is basically, Cena and but she's
I did watch the movie.
But something about her facial features that I was like, she could play that innocent kind of, character that Katie sort of was, but also was. Right. I like.
Who could also play her? Zoe Deutsch.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Sure.
I think she would also be played. She was my runner-up. Yep. She's younger too, so I think that would also fit. All right, let's get into Wormer. Let's do Wormer.
Okay. This is a big one.
So I originally, to give the ode to the classic, I wanted to put Jim Belushi in this role.
Yeah, I liked that.
I don't know if this is the right fit for him. But I do, because the thing is like Jim Belushi has pulled it off. Jim Belushi has a good voice, but he doesn't have the same voice as Wormer. This is my problem with Wormer, is that his voice is just, he's got a great voice. Like you could see him
gravelly.
But you could see him doing like voiceover work for car commercials and all, like it has that like almost movie voice.
Yes.
So that's where I came and I was like, you know what? I need somebody with a commanding voice. The look doesn't need to be there. The same look. And I didn't even look at age because I know they're both old enough. And mine is Dennis Haysbert, the Allstate guy.
Pedro Serrano.
And he could be funny
Absolutely.
too. He could be funny in that as well. Because
good.
He's a good. He was good in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
That's good.
He was there. He played.
That's good.
Yeah.
So we both did the same thing. We both started with a white guy and pivoted to a black guy. So I went originally, and I think you will like this, especially because I know how much you and I both have this movie in common that we love called The Nice Guys. I went with Russell Crowe at first.
Oh, I love The Nice Guys. That's a really good fit.
Like, I think it would have been good. I think Russell Crowe would have been a good Dean Wormer because he's also like older and heavier now, and he kind of looks the part of a Dean.
Oh,
to be
Nice
honest,
Guys. I love that movie.
But I wanted to really kind of go sideways with this.
That's a good pick.
And really go like a little bit outside the box. And I was like, and you know what? It's funny you brought up the voice, because you might not think of this when you think of this guy's voice. Because when you hear this guy's voice, it's certainly no Dennis Haysbert. Then again, who is? But when I heard him, I love the Key and Peele show. And I loved Jordan Peele's Barack Obama and the way he did that voice. And so I went with Jordan Peele as my Dean Wormer.
Nice.
I just like, and the comic chops that I think he would bring to that role.
Oh yeah.
But the thing about Jordan Peele, the thing about Jordan Peele is he can play serious though too. Like he's got a range.
He can play serious, jokey.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got range, and I think he could be such a great Dean Wormer. So that was I like it. He was my pick.
That is a good one. I like that a lot. All right. Let's see where we're at here. Let's do Professor Jennings.
Oh, this one was easy for me.
It wasn't easy for me. I had a few picks, and then I ended up. So I had one. I went to two others, and then I was like, you know what? No, I do like them, but I don't love them. And then I went back to my original pick.
Yeah.
So I'll give you my runners up here. The runners up I had were James Franco and Danny McBride. So
Danny McBride would have been
so
funny.
Danny McBride's a little too
yeah, it wouldn't have fit.
He's not as
Franco.
chill.
Franco, yes.
Franco could do that.
Franco could definitely have done.
He could play that
He
role.
could do it. He could.
But the guy I ended up going with, who I think could play this role almost perfectly, is Jason Segel.
Oh, that is good. That is good. That's good. I went older. I went a little older because I don't even remember how old Donald Sutherland was when he actually played.
He couldn't have been that old. He looked like he might have been 40. I don't know.
Yeah, but you know what I went with? I went with Kiefer Sutherland.
Oh, that's classic.
I did the homage. I went dad and son. I just thought he'd be, and I still think Kiefer Sutherland could probably pull off young enough to be in that role.
Yeah.
But I love Kiefer Sutherland, so I just would like to see him play his dad.
I like it. Okay, now let's get to my last one.
Okay.
Which is Mandy Pepperidge.
Okay.
And I had this being played by Sophie Turner.
Okay.
I like her. Yep. I think she can play it off. I think she has. I either wanted her to be Pepperidge or Babs.
Yep. Okay.
Either one, she could play either one. I had her there. I think she might be funnier as Babs. Because the comedic stuff between her and what's that guy's name?
Marmalade or
yeah, Marmalade. The stuff between them is kind of funny. I think she could have played that pretty well.
Yep. Okay. So I for that one I went Chloe Grace Moretz.
Oh, okay, that's good. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I mean, come on. You can just throw blonde at it and it works. I mean, it doesn't. All right. So I will run down. So like I went 18 deep here on this cast.
Oh my God.
That's what she said.
I want to see who we got for Niedermeyer.
Okay. So let's see. We did Otter. We did Boone. We didn't do Blue. Oh, no, we didn't do Bluto.
No, we haven't done Bluto yet. Well, you haven't finished.
What?
When you're done, when you're done doing all the rest of the cast.
Oh, we're gonna say okay.
We'll end with Bluto.
All right, so let me skip past Bluto. So for Flounder,
my Bluto, I love. By the way, this is like I was like, oh, I was watching the movie again this weekend, and I was like, there's only one character that can play this guy, and I know it. I know it for a fact.
Okay. Yeah, I have a feeling we're gonna be very far off on our Blutos.
Yeah.
For Flounder, I think you might like this one, although he's definitely way too young. Hudson Yang from Fresh Off the Boat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of a chunky kid, but not that chunky. Yeah. But like I thought he'd be interesting. We did Katie, we did Jennings. Oh, Robert Hoover.
Yeah. You know who I wanted to. The kid that I thought of was Manny in Modern Family.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's who I thought of for him.
Okay.
But I didn't. I was like, I don't. He's a classic. There's so many. That's the problem. There's so many.
So for Robert Hoover, I went with David Mazouz from Gotham. He played Bruce Wayne. In Gotham.
For who?
Hoover. Robert Hoover.
Oh, okay.
Who was the president of Delta.
Yeah. Okay.
He kind of I just liked his look for that role.
Yeah.
So for Chip Diller. Now, Chip Diller was Kevin Bacon's character. I went with Tom Holland.
Okay. Please, sir, man, have another.
So Daniel Simpson, this might be my favorite pick because Daniel Simpson, you have no idea how old he is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just don't know. And just because of the look, I went with Adam Driver.
Oh, all right.
For Daniel Simpson. Because I can
Adam
picture
Driver
him.
would be a good Professor Jennings, too.
He probably would. Yes, he probably would be a great Professor Jennings. You're right.
I totally forgot about Adam Driver.
Tall and thin, just like...
And the poofy hair. And
yeah, the hair and everything. Yes, he probably would.
Throw a little weird mustache on him.
Yeah. For Pinto, who was the, freshman pledging Delta, I went with Finn Wolfhard, Stranger Things.
I don't know who that is.
Look him up.
I've never watched Stranger Things. I've watched the first episode.
So we did Dean Wormer. So for Babs, I went with Lily Reinhart. She was on the show Riverdale.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I know. I've seen him. Yeah.
So I even went Marion Wormer here on this.
Oh, wow.
And this is just because I just love older. Well, that's not older woman though, but I went with Rachel Weisz because I just love her, and why not?
Solid.
Yeah.
yeah. Why not?
And plus, a love scene with her, and it'd just be cool. Anyways, all right. So then I even did Otis Day. You did. And I had John Boyega. About doing Otis Day. I went with John Boyega to play Otis Day.
All right. I was like thinking about Otis Day, and you know who I came up with? Chris Tucker. I was like, Chris Tucker could do that. He could have fun with that. Not quite the voice, but
so for Gregory Marmalade, I went with Chandler Riggs from The Walking Dead, and then last but not least, Stork. I did Marcus Scribner from Blackish, actually. Yeah, I like Marcus Scribner. He's a guy who looks older than he is too, a little bit. His voice is developed deeply. So that just brings us to Bluto. By the way, to be honest, I don't love my Bluto pick. I just don't. I'm not in love with it.
You don't?
No, I don't. I'm probably gonna like yours better.
Then what? Give me yours. Give me yours. Who's your Bluto?
I struggled with this
because if yours is mine, then I'm gonna be like, oh, that's too bad.
No, I'm sure it's not gonna. I highly doubt it. So I went with just because he could play in comedy roles. He actually might need to lose a little weight.
Whoa.
Because he's a big kid. Julian Dennison from Deadpool 2.
Oh, okay.
He's the guy who played the.
He's young too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's young. He's young, but I kind of felt like if he could just drop a few pounds, put a little 5 o'clock shadow on, he's
only 18.
Yeah, he's young. He's a big kid.
He looks
too.
like a baby.
I know he does have that like a little bit of a baby face, but because Bluto obviously looked like he was 40.
Yeah. So and he was 29.
So like I said, I don't love the pick, but I could see him doing it.
All right, here is mine. You need somebody with a crazy personality. You need somebody who can do comedy. You need somebody who can be kind of a serious and get away with it.
Sure.
You need that person because everybody kind of knew John Belushi was a little bit tapped in the head. In a good way, in a bad way, both, right?
Sure.
And then also on top of that, John Belushi was dead sober for this whole movie. He went on a bit of a bender after the fact, but dead sober during the whole filming of this movie. I think you have an actor here that could actually do this. He's a little bit older, 5 years older.
Okay.
But similar. I think he might be almost too big of an actor, but he's crazy. That's Shia LaBeouf. I could see him going and be like right into the guys' faces. I could see him like chugging a bottle of whiskey and throwing it, and he
would have to pack on some pounds.
A little bit. He could easily do that. He could easily
I'm sure he
put
could.
on a little weight, and
he could.
He didn't even have to put on that much weight. He just needs to kind of like fluff up a little bit, And
I like it.
I think he could be, and he's a talented actor, very talented actor.
Yes,
and I think that he's done comedy stuff in the past. I think he could very easily fit that role.
I like it. I like that.
First person that popped into my mind, and I was like, I don't know who the hell I'm gonna pick, because like Chris Farley's dead, like that would be an obvious.
And even if he
pick.
wasn't, he'd still
be too old now. But like he would have been an obvious pick. But like,
sure.
Who do you pick? And that's the first person that came to mind. As soon as I like started watching him and like his.
No, it's good.
And I was like, I could see Shia LaBeouf doing that in a restaurant.
I like it. Yeah. He's definitely got the right amount of crazy in him.
Yeah. You need it.
Yeah, it's good. No, I like that.
That's fun. I like doing the recast.
It's a hard movie. It is fun. It's hard.
We got to come up with another movie for a recast though, because we don't have one in here.
Okay.
That's the movie. What are we gonna do? I'd like to. If anybody's watching, I'd like to know.
Yeah.
Live.
How about some feedback of a movie to read?
Is that what
Oh,
you-
can I do like? I see. It's so. The problem is, it just comes down to two characters, and because I've always dreamed of this.
What?
Because I've always wanted to see Tango and Cash redone, but I want it with John Cena and The Rock.
Oh,
as
yeah,
Tango
yeah.
and
You
Cash.
talked about that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like that is just like I still keep thinking to myself, how has this not happened already? But then I would also have Stallone and Kurt Russell as the villains.
Oh, okay, that's clever.
So there it is. I've just recast.
I have like movie posters around and stuff like that, but like I don't know what movies we should do. There's another one. We'll put it out to the people listening. I guess for now, and hopefully we don't get it today. But we also have. I put in a recast a movie. A little while ago. I think between our last show and today, recast a movie. White Men Can't Jump.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I have that one in there, but we need one more. I need one more for right here. So if you come up with one, let me know. We can always. We have a bunch of things on here. We can easily erase one if you guys come up with a good topic.
I hate getting sacrilegious with Harrison Ford, but I mean, what about Raiders? I don't want to do it.
Yeah, no,
I don't want to do it.
That's because it's not.
I don't
easy, but it's like it's one of those things that like not yet.
I don't like forcing myself into recasting Harrison Ford, especially as Indiana Jones, which is just not.
It's tough right now because it's like it's the side characters are tough. Like you have the main.
Plus, it just seems like Chris Pratt is just like the easiest answer.
Oh, there's a couple of guys that you could put in there.
Yeah, there are.
There's a couple.
Nobody I'd feel comfortable with. I mean, Chris Pratt is about the closest I'd feel comfortable with.
All right.
I don't want to see anybody else wearing that fedora. I just don't.
Well, you will eventually if the next one.
I know. Oh, I know. Of course we will. I'll have to accept it, but yeah, I don't know. I gotta think.
Let's kick on the. We got time to spin that wheel for our next.
Okay, it's gonna land on that empty slot.
And then we'll have to whatever you recommend.
Yeah, sure.
The Wheel of Destiny. All right, here we go. Wheel of Destiny. That's not on the. There we go. Let's get this in the frame here. Got my light in the background. All right, here we go. You ready?
Oh, sure.
Mount Rushmore of worst sports figures.
So let's give an example of what that means, though. Worst sport figures.
It's your decision.
But we'll with most awful players. Like what do we mean by worst?
Hate the most.
Oh,
worst.
like my
you
Mount
can
Rushmore
say
sports villains.
It could be Tom Brady for you. It could be you could be like, well, I hate this owner from this team for the Chicago White Sox because he didn't let the Black Sox because he didn't pay them well, so they had to cheat. It could be any reasoning. It could just be someone that you absolutely hate just because. And
okay, that's easy.
Worst sports
yeah, that's
figures.
easy.
We'll say professional sports figures.
Sure, that's easy enough. You know who my George Washington's going to be.
Yes, I do.
This could include coaches, right?
Of course.
All right.
He's a sports figure.
All right.
I didn't say players, sports figures. Could be
this is going to be easy. This is going to be easy for me.
It could be a GM. Could be whatever. All right. That's pretty much it for our show.
2 football players, 2 baseball players. I bet you could guess all 4 of mine. I don't even have to think about this.
I can definitely guess 2 of them.
I think you can guess 3 of them.
I'd have to think about it.
Well, we'll save it for next week. You can try to guess.
All right.
Because yours, I really don't know.
I hate so many people. All right.
I don't know if I hate as many people as you, but the ones I hate very strongly.
Yeah, I don't hate a lot of people.
Put it that way.
I just I don't really I don't like dive in and dig in like you do.
Yeah,
That's
I dig
the problem.
in. Right. That's the difference.
So I say that I dislike somebody. Like obviously last week I talked about how much I dislike Correa. He's not going to be on my list, but it's just a dislike. I don't like him. I don't like his
I hate and dislike and loathe with every fiber of my being. Yes, it's just I put everything I have into my hate. Yeah. I hate as strongly as I love.
I'm gonna have to get some clips. I have to make sure that I get some clips for these guys for next week.
I hate the way I love.
Because some old clips, dig them out of the dungeon that we have.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
All right. There we go. All right. Get those out there. All right. Thank you guys for listening, watching how we took this in. We appreciate the time that you've taken. And don't forget to hit that subscriber button, notification bell, hit the dinger, give us a thumbs up. We appreciate it. It helps the YouTube algorithm. Smash all that. And then, we will see you guys again very soon. And what the hell happened? Why didn't it go away? I can't find it. We're not able to get back in. Where'd it go? Oh my God.
Well, to quote this guy right here, the great Tony Stark, part of the journey is the end. We have reached the end of our show, but we will be back next Monday.
Yeah, we will.
Man, I watched Avengers Endgame again. It was on TNT. Mm-hmm. It's been in rotation. I just keep watching it. It's like, how many times can I see the damn movie? You know what the weird part is I'll put it on. I'm not necessarily in the mood to watch it, but I keep it on. And the fact that because there's commercials, it extends it to 4 hours. And it's I could just cut an hour off of this and just watch it if I want to, on Disney Plus, or I own it. I mean, why am I sitting through the commercials? It just doesn't make sense. But anyways, oh well. It's not like it's a bad choice.
Why is it doing this? I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, you can find me on Twitter at @the_Bryant_man.
Word. Find me on Twitter at Einhornisfinkel. Find the show at Shane and Bryman.
You can find him on Instagram at Happy McAvoy.
Yeah, you can. And let's see. I'll go over the polls real quick at the end.
Oh, sure.
35 votes. Aaron Rodgers. 54% Broncos. 40% Packers. 5% Jeopardy. Almost.
So the Broncos didn't run away, but they are strongly leading.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree. Hey, listen, I agree with it.
This thing just keeps...
I think the more interesting thing is what the hell is going to happen with Deshaun Watson. I mean, he's basically smack dab in the soup here with this investigation. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, he doesn't want to play for the Texans. He's also not tradable at the moment. I mean, this sucks for the Texans. He might not even, if I had to, if we did a poll about Deshaun Watson, I would just say, I just don't think he's going to play this year.
Yeah.
I don't think he's playing. There's not a trade partner.
I would be very shocked.
I mean, there's not a trade partner really, because if you're trading for him, what are you really going to be willing to give up for a guy who could end up in jail? I don't know. I don't know. What are you willing to? I mean, with Aaron Rodgers, all you're dealing with is a diva personality. Yeah. I mean, whatever, and you know what you're getting on the field. With Watson, you know what you're getting on the field, but you don't know what you're getting off the field. I mean, God, how many masseuses do you need? And I like Deshaun Watson too. That's the upsetting part. I'm such a fan of his game. This is top 5 quarterback. I mean, as I made clear, I never wanted the Dolphins to get him just because I just believe in Tua that much. And I just want to see the Dolphins do it with Tua, not bring in a hired gun from the outside to get it done. I know most fans would say well, who cares how you go yesterday? And they were trying to, I think, poll Nets fans about do you feel any connection to this Brooklyn Nets team?
Yeah.
because it's just a bunch of outside guns. None of these guys were drafted by the Nets. These are all look at the team they've assembled. It's all hired assassins. Durant and Irving and Harden and Griffin. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're the odds-on favorites to win it all. But holy shit, if they are not, that's just a group of assassins. So it's an interesting question. And as a fan, if you think about the teams that you have rooted for that have won championships, for all of them, hasn't there been some semblance of, okay, this guy came up through our system or was drafted by us kind of thing? I look at, for me, if you look at the three, let's leave college out of it because they're kids.
Duncan Robinson.
Right. Duncan, Robinson, Ginobili, Parker. I mean, these were all guys that were either drafted or they were signed internationally, and then they filled in very Yankee-like. They filled in the pieces where they needed to on the outside. Bruce Bowen, guys like that. Even in their first one, Sean Elliott was there. The Spurs, to me, you look at it as deep a connection to a team as I could possibly have. Same with the Blackhawks. Taves, Kane, Duncan Keith, Corey Crawford. I mean, just, guys that were either drafted by the team or that, were brought in to supplement. But the main characters, the main protagonists there, if you will, are guys that the team picked. And then, of course, the Yankees. I mean, come on. I mean, the core four, which was really a core five. Mm-hmm. I mean, and then even the guys that they supplemented until they got a little too deep into the free agency thing, but the dynasty team of Jeter, Rivera, and Bernie, and Mariano and Posada. I mean, that's as good as it gets as far as homegrown. But if you're a Nets fan, it is weird. I mean, you really just need to do your best to concentrate on the name on the front of the jersey and not the one on the back, because if you're a Nets fan, it's got to be tough. Listen, if they win, you'll go nuts, right? Because the Nets have never won a championship. But if they don't, if they don't, it's a disaster if they don't win, by the way, with this team. But even if they do, it's they
won't. No chemistry.
It's just what's the connection to the team? I don't know. Interesting.
I don't think they have enough chemistry. But let's get out.
How could they?
Peace
it's
out.
just a massive amount of talent. That's all.
We will see you guys again next Monday. If something big comes up, who knows? Maybe we'll come back. Brian Man just disconnected. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys again soon. Bye.